off, then heal next to an enemy, and then your trample will continue to do quite a bit of damage if you are AP spec'd. But looks like Udyr and Singed are trying to defend top against Skarner and Shyvana. What does Skarner have? He's got typical jungle items. He's got Berserker Greaves going for that Sheen with the Wriggles. Singed does try to see if he can throw him off the tower. I think Skarner's trying to grab him here so he can pull him to Shyvana. But, oh, he does go down. But looks like Skarner is going to go down to the tower, which is nice. And I'm missing the action going down bottom. Galio did ult with his Idol Duran, but he did flash away, I think. But it looks like minimal damage was done. And Galio did take quite a bit of damage, so I don't think that was worth it at all. You really want to save those Galio ults for ganks, because Galio by himself doesn't do that much damage unless he's going like a pure AP build, which you never see these days after his nerfs a while back, but AP is still viable. But let's see what Vayne's got. Vayne's going for a Berserker Greaves with her Vamp Scepter. Looks like she's going to be saving for a BF Sword. Alistar hasn't gone back yet, so he's got a decent amount of gold for support because he's doing what the support's to be doing, which is just healing up his teammate, not taking really as much creep farm as he needs to be. As you can see, Sona's doing a little bit better job of that. You really don't want to take too much creep farm, but 9 isn't going to kill anyone. But considering Vayne was down, it would be nice to give all of it to her. But I believe he was in the lane a little bit by himself, so for the necessary means of pushing it off the tower, that's perfectly fine. Looks like Sona wants in on the action. She ults, but she does miss somehow. I don't know what the reason was that. Alistar's ult basically prevents all damage from being taken, so using an ult on him is almost useless. But Vayne does pin Galio to the wall, but Alistar knocks him back, and it looks like Skarner's going for the kill on Vayne, and let's see what happens there. Vayne does get away barely with a nice tumble. Skarner does look like he's coming around though to kill Alistar. He flashes over the wall. Good job. And let's see what Udyr's doing. Udyr turtle into bear trying to get away, but Skarner does impale him. But luckily Galio's ult isn't up because of that bad usage before. And it looks like he's going to get away. And their team seems to be taking unnecessary tower damage, which is never a situation you want to be in. But, oh, nice. QWR on Galio with an ignite. Mord picks up the kill. Very nice. And she gets a catalyst proc. Wow, that just worked out perfect for her. Let's see what Skarner's doing. Looks like he's going, but Vayne does knock him away, which always sucks. But Vayne is not letting up. She seems to be chasing, but then Sona comes in too close. Oh, but she does back out with her speed aura. Turtle stance does not save him sadly, but Vayne does pick up the kill on Skarner. Sona is very weak, but Vayne is really, really low. She's at like 70 health right now. And she does get away though. And she's got blue. Looks like Vayne's going for, I don't really know. What can you get with a pickaxe and a dagger? I don't think you can get anything. Looks like she's building like a Infinity Edge at the same time she's trying to build her Black Cleaver. Which generally speaking, you never want to go for multiple items at a time unless you're a hero that's like a good hybrid champion that benefits from like multiple little small benefits. Like someone like Galio. Like if you don't want to get Merc Treads right away, you can do what he does, where you just get the Null Magic Mantle, and it looks like he's trying to go for maybe a Aegis or something, which is perfectly fine because, as you can see, there hasn't been really that much CC going on Galio, so there really isn't a need for him to spend the extra 450 when he could have when he can easily get like a cloth armor or an extra ruby crystal. Well, I'm jumping around today. Gotta lock the camera a little bit more. But yeah, it does look like Alistar does have his Philosopher's Stone and his other Fairy Charm, so I don't know what this is going to be used for. I assume it will be used for a Soul Shroud. I hope, because gold per 5 items, or gold per 10 perhaps, do not stack anymore. Meaning, Philosopher's Stone has unique passive, so you can't get multiple Philosopher's Stones anymore. Not that really many people did get multiple Philosopher's Stones. It was more like the Avarice Blade on Gangplank or the Heart of Gold on like Nasus or something. But they all have different unique passives, so no more stacking the same one, which isn't a big deal. But hopefully he's not going for a second one, because it took me a while to notice that Philosopher's Stone was unique. So I was kind of afraid when I almost built 2 of them one time. But looks like Shyvana and Skarner trying to get Lizard, but oh, the whole team does appear. Galli's going to go in, probably pop. Yep, ult goes down. Morg only does get 2 people with her Soul Shackles, and she flashes out, but will she make it? Caitlyn does decide to ult Morg. Alistar gets the perfect knockup and ults and flashes out of there. Well done. Allows Morg to pick up a kill, and maybe Caitlyn might go down. Nope. What sucks is if you don't... I saw someone complaining that there's no health bars, and what I was trying to say before was that the only health bars will appear around the character that you're viewing, or the character that gave you the replay. So as you can see, you can't see Vayne's for some reason, even though she's right next to you. But nonetheless, Deer's complaining that he didn't get in his jungle, which 2 minutes without jungle that early in the game is pretty detrimental. I can't not talk. Detrimental to your team. Meaning in those 2 minutes you don't have ganks, you don't have anything to worry about. Looks like Alistar is going to be starting on Dragon, which is a good choice considering there is 4 top, and it does not look like they're going to be able to defend that tower. But Deer and Morg are going to try to D the best they can, but tower goes down anyways. Caitlyn decides to ult whenever, but Morg shields and gets a good bind off. It looks like Alistar and Vayne. Yeah, perfect. There we go. We got out of there alright. Took a little bit of damage, but looks like they're going to take bottom tower, which in this situation I wouldn't say is the smartest choice, considering there is 5 top, and if they wanted to, they could just push through inhibitor tower. But luckily Udyr and Morgana do pick up the kill on Shyvana, because she is playing very, very aggressively going down here without any teammate support. And the smart choice, since there still is visibly, I think, 2 or 3 top and 1 mid, to keep pushing, which indeed they intend to, which is probably the smartest choice as of now. But what I'd really like to see is if he would use a CV more liberally, because what I've been noticing is that he hasn't been using it off cooldown, which is pretty important, because he could be spotting if they were going for important buffs such as Lizard or Golem, which I haven't seen that much. I've just been seeing him use it for his own lane and just purposes during laning phase, which is perfectly fine, but that's probably the only criticism I have so far, is that he's not using a CV as liberally. But I spoke too soon, and he did CV Lizard, which was a pretty good choice considering they were all MIA. And it looks like Udyr's going to give Morg blue. And yeah, looks like Alistar's got a decent amount of money. Whoa, Vayne gets a Shyvana right in her. Alistar knocks her away and hits Q, but she does Dragon. Oh, but Vayne does flash over. Always remember, as Alistar, knock them away, but spam Q as you're running into them with Headbutt, because it'll allow you to kind of double hit before your move goes off, so you don't have to wait, which I haven't seen him been doing as much, and that's just like a rule of thumb. When you headbutt, you wait for it to go around that edge of the circle, and then right as you make contact with your target, spam Pulverize, and what it'll do is it'll push the target away, but it'll also stun using the Pulverize. Just a little tip, I guess, is Alistar. It's like his main, like if you're going to go like a AP build, you basically have to just WQ combo and then run in, because the stun will allow you to catch back up with the target. Let's see, what is he getting? He's getting a Sheen. Huh. probably an early Lich Bane, I would assume, which is pretty strong on Alistar. But what I like more is, if you're going to be going like a little bit of an AP, is to always go for a Rabadons first, especially if you're going a support build, because Lich Bane isn't really that strong, because Lich Bane does damage based off of your current AP. Meaning once you use a spell, you get a buff for 6 seconds, I believe, or 6 or 8 seconds, which will allow you to do your next auto attack as ability power. And the only problem with that is that when you only have 32 AP, your Lich Bane's gonna hit for 32 damage, minus resistances. So let's just say on Bane, it probably hit for like 25, 24, which isn't a good spot to be in, but can't complain. If you are going one of these support builds, you generally have to get a lot of gold per 5 items also, which I don't see. But let's see what his creep farm's at. He does have a little bit compared to Sona, so he does have that little bit edge where he doesn't need it as much. But looks like Bane's going to jump in, but Skarner does suppress him and ult, but Galio does pick up the kill with a Resolute Smite, and I believe Galio did ult, but Alistar did interrupt it with his Q. Knocks him up, bash away Galio, which was a smart choice considering he can slow, but the slow on Skarner with Lizard and Trinity Force is beyond helping. His slows are just crazy. It looks like Singed is playing around with Shyvana here. Morg's trying to pick up the kill with Udyr, and they successfully pick up the Shyvana kill. And we have a Dragon Corpse on the ground. Always fun. Looks like Udyr and Morg trying to push the tower, and Morg gets a nice hit off on Caitlyn. She even stands in the soil for a little bit. But Bane does say we have to push lanes. They're just going to keep farming, which is true. They do have a lot of creep farm. As you can see, Skarner has 170, which is really high for 25 minutes in the game. Well, not abnormally high, but relatively high considering he does have 3 kills and 6 assists. Caitlyn has quite a bit of creep farm also. Bane is the one lacking in the creep farm department, as you can see. Singed always seems to do well in creep farming because all he does is just run around with his trail, as seen here. Singed is probably one of the best farmers in the game for that reason.